Welcome to this very special edition of Tell Me About Your Damn Book, live from the 2018 New England Authors Expo at the beautiful Danversport, It used to be the Danversport Yacht Club. I don't know what it is anymore. I think it's just the Danversport. Maybe the Danversport Marina. I probably shouldn't go too deep into that. Anyway, I'm here with my very first guest. She is a sci-fi fantasy author. You probably know her if you're watching this on YouTube because you've probably seen her on YouTube. It is Mandi Lynn. Mandi Lynn, welcome.
Thank you. It's great being here. The weather's holding up.
For the moment, yes. Fingers crossed. Let's keep that good stuff going.
Knock on wood.
Yes, yes, exactly. Now, before we start talking about your book and your writing career, you and I actually have a connection. So your first name and middle name became your author name. So Mandi and Lynn is your first name and your middle name,
Yes.
and you dropped your last name because it was Polish. It is Polish.
Yes.
And people couldn't spell it or pronounce it.
Correct.
So Stephen Lomer is my first name and middle name and my author name, and I dropped my last name because it's French and nobody can spell it or pronounce it. So there we have it. There we have that amazing connection, and also, of course, that we're both very, very young. So, speaking of young, you started writing your first novel at 13 years old.
Yes.
What was that like?
So it started off as just a fun thing to do, and then eventually I'm like, I put this much effort into it, I'm gonna get it published.
Okay.
I'm just a stubborn child, and I would say was, but I still am stubborn.
Okay, good, good.
Less of a child these days.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
You never know.
From my eyes, well, anyway.
But yeah, so Essence was my debut, and I just went ahead and started writing it. I entered it in the Amazon Breakthrough Novel Award contest, was rejected very quickly.
How horrifying.
Absolutely horrifying, and just kept rewriting, submitting to agents. Very stubborn against the whole idea of self-publishing, and then eventually I found out there's a difference between just self-publishing for the sake of doing it or self-publishing for doing it, you know, correctly, doing your research, doing your marketing, and different things like that.
Sure, sure.
So that's how that happened.
Okay. And you published at 17.
Yes.
So it was a 4-year gap between when you started writing and when you published. Okay. You've also taught writing workshops. You've appeared on television and newspapers. What do you think is the most important outlet for an author if they're trying to get their name out there?
I think what I've learned is just networking, you know, doing stuff like this, meeting other authors. And it's not only just that in terms of getting your name out there, it's just in terms of having a support system. This past year, I've met a ton of amazing authors. I've actually been able to travel to meet them, and just having people with the same connection as you. You know, especially myself, I'm on YouTube, and then I met a whole bunch of other authors on YouTube, and we were just able to talk about these things that a lot of other people just didn't understand. And then, you know, we each have our own fan bases, so then once we start collaborating, we can each work off of each other's fans, and it's just a great way to make connections.
Sure, sure. Now, let's talk about your YouTube videos. You do a lot of YouTube videos. How do you find the time to do that with everything else that you've got going on?
So the biggest trick is to film in bulk. I film about once a month usually.
Ah, film in bulk. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I got it.
So I film a whole lot, and then as it comes for them to be published, I edit them like the day before, upload them and all that. I actually just started a online course called AuthorTube Academy, where I talk a lot about that, how, you know, I personally do my YouTube videos and how the search engine works and all that, because my daytime job is digital marketing.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So great implementation into my author career.
True enough, true enough. And what's been the response overall to your YouTube videos?
It's been pretty good. It was when I first started, I was the only really author on YouTube that was sharing things the way I was, because this was way back in 2012. And then things got quiet when I went to college, because college.
Sure,
And
sure.
then now that I've graduated, it's just been great to be back in the community again, and there's that great support system, people excited about your book, and then other authors excited to share about your book, and it's just been awesome. My favorite part about being an author is that community.
Nice, nice. So now today you're going to be on a panel titled Book Marketing Using Social Media. What do you plan to talk about? Give us a little teaser
So,
on that.
I had asked my followers what they wanted me to talk about, and a lot of it was just, how do you get started? So I'll be talking about that. I also had the question about how do you do an awesome book launch, which is what I'm in the process of doing right now. So if I have time, I'll talk about that. Because book marketing is its own monster, especially with social media.
Sure.
I try to not pay for things because social media is free, and just got to use that community to your advantage.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So
nice.
that's what I'll be talking about.
All right. Actually, you know what? I think if I can get all of these interviews done, I think I will actually attend that one because I think I can learn a thing or two
Exactly.
from you.
You can never stop learning.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Okay, well, let's not keep them waiting any longer. Mandi Lynn, tell me about your damn book.
Okay, so I will start with Essence.
Okay.
Essence is a young adult fantasy novel. It's about a girl who she goes into the forest and she's like overcome by this pole, and basically she becomes an essence, which is something that exists spiritually but not physically. So her parents think she's dead. So she's watching over them almost like a ghost, trying to take care of them and watching them deal with her death.
Wow.
I Am Mercy is the prequel to Essence. It's sort of like The Hobbit to The Lord of the Rings, where it's only one character in common, but it gives all the backstory on how an essence came to be in the first place. It takes place during the Black Plague. There's a lot of dark magic, and it was just a whole lot of fun to write.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Black Plague, dark magic. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of fun. And what's next for you?
So my next novel is She's Not Here. It's coming out in October, and it's a psychological thriller.
You're just all over the place, aren't you?
I am. So I took a big break from writing for college, and in that time really evolved as a writer. My style has changed completely. I look back at my other novels, and so my first two were first person present. My third novel is third person past.
Oh, fascinating.
So I did a lot of playing around with stuff, and so the third novel is She's Not Here, and it's about a woman whose father had Alzheimer's. He passed away from Alzheimer's, and now she's willing to find a cure to Alzheimer's at all costs, and that means even ruining an innocent life.
Wow.
Yes, so that one was a lot of fun. It's been the most difficult novel to write, but it has been the most rewarding as well.
You and I have a very different definition of fun, but okay, whatever works for you, whatever works for your fans, that's really all that matters. So now, if people are looking to get a hold of your books, where do they go?
So they are available basically everywhere. We got them on Amazon, Book Depository. For ebooks, they're available on Kindle. And also, if you just want to go to my website, www.mandylynn.com, make sure you spell Mandy with an I. You'll find everything there as well.
Wonderful. Well, Mandi Lynn, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and we'll be right back.